Neighbors are fed up with the homeless navigation center at 4th Plain and Grand, a conversation with Vancouver's mayor, and folks will have to wait a while longer for a grocery store downtown. That and much more on today's edition of the Week in Review from ClarkCountyToday.com. Hey everyone, a very happy Friday. Hope you're staying cool out there. Let's start in central Vancouver, where neighbors around the city's new homeless navigation center say they are fed up with the way it's being run and the impact it's having on their community. The Homeless Navigation Center opened last November, replacing a temporary day shelter in downtown Vancouver. Since then, people who live around the area near 4th Plain and Grand say property crime has skyrocketed and homeless camps have popped up in a wooded area to the south.
Just prior to this opening up, the City of Vancouver had the police do a massive sweep every single day, basically herding up all of the homeless people down in the vicinity of the new waterfront crown jewel. They've all been herded up here into this densely populated residential neighborhood.
Residents who live in the area have begun documenting what they see on a closed Facebook group, including people defecating on private property, discarded needles, property damage, and homeless people walking across busy Grand Avenue from the navigation center to the Walmart next door.
The city's response to this has been to dismiss it, to downplay it, and to act like everything is normal, if not better than it was before the day center was located here.
As part of opening the navigation center, the city committed to a good neighbor agreement, and Vancouver Mayor McEnerny-Ogle says they intend to stick with that.
People camping, yes, we've had people camping, but we've had people camping there before too. But individuals have noticed an increase, and so we want to make sure that our police and our outreach individuals and our talking trash individuals and our security are working with each one of them, because I want the neighbors around to feel secure. I don't want them to worry that that they have a fear. If they want to walk their neighborhood and go to any of the businesses around there, they should be able to do that at day or night.
The mayor says part of that will be utilizing the other 80% of the navigation center building, hopefully to bring in more services for the homeless. But neighbors say they've heard no one wants to be there.
There's nobody in there navigating. The offices are empty. There's nobody housing anybody. There's nobody in there from an addiction counseling center, alcohol addiction center, nobody trying to get anybody jobs in there. They're not housed in here. If somebody comes in and they're ready and they're saying, I need help, they're gonna say, here, take a seat over here. We'll get on the phone. They're gonna be here in a couple of hours. And then 10 minutes later, they're gonna be out here getting their drugs, shooting up, or whatever it is they're doing, and they're done, they're gone. They've lost the opportunity to save a life.
Neighbors say they would like to see the city shut down the navigation center and bring in an independent third party to examine how it's being run and what can be done better before it's opened again. Others say they want the city and county to look into smaller navigation centers spread throughout the region to avoid the concentration of homeless in a fragile neighborhood just pulling itself out of years of gang and drug activity.
They are falling short of saving lives here. And they've put more people in danger, the community and the people that they are supposed to be helping.
You can hear more of the mayor's comments about homelessness in the city, along with her take on the Interstate Bridge project, other developments around town, and recent officer-involved shootings by Vancouver police in our full interview available at ClarkCountyToday.com. Well, on the other side of the homelessness issue is one Vancouver couple looking for a unique way to help some very specific members of our community without a place to call home.
Homelessness does not pick and choose on the basis of sacrifices made. Nowhere is this more apparent than with homeless veterans. According to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, over 40,000 veterans are homeless in the U.S. on any given day, with approximately 9% being women. Enter onto the local stage, Veterans Village. Launched by Ron and Rosemary Fryer, Vancouver nonprofit America for Veterans Foundation is working to construct a village of housing units for homeless female veterans in Clark County.
Right now, we're still in a planning stage. As soon as we get everything in place, then we're going to go ahead and break ground and start building.
Vancouver is a very caring community, I have to say. So what this will do is help people that are good people get themselves stable, get themselves back into the community and being productive citizens, is which we want in our community.
The project already has over $500,000 of grant funding approved from the City of Vancouver when the organization is able to raise the other half. The first village will be a model for those to come. The Vancouver Veterans Assistance Center is one of their most avid supporters.
There's quite a large population of homeless veterans here in our county, whether they're females or males.
You know, they come back and they become invisible. You know, they're on the street and we don't want to face it, we don't want to think about it, we don't want to look at it. I think is a more permanent solution, and I think, you know, if you're grouped in to some big shelter somewhere, that there's really no definite way out for success. You feel just like one of a million and that you don't matter, you know. So I think this has the opportunity to give them more a sense of self-worth and feeling like they can take that next step.
For those that gave so much for our country, Veterans Village endeavors to see homeless service men and women return to their rightful place in society.
I believe veterans are heroes. I guess I'm doing this because I want to thank the people that are protecting all those freedoms and liberties for me and keeping this country free.
For ClarkCountyToday.com, I'm Jacob Graneman.
Jacob, thank you so much for that story. In other news this week, Battleground City Council took an official position regarding Initiative 1639 after weeks of pressure from gun rights groups for the passage of a Second Amendment sanctuary city ordinance. Mayor Mike D'Alessandro said the council feels it is the duty of the judicial branch to determine if the gun control measure is constitutional and not the place for a local government to declare itself in opposition to a law rightfully passed by a majority of Washington voters. Others spoke out saying the council is violating their oath to uphold the Constitution and urging opponents of I-1639 to vote out D'Alessandro and Councilor Philip Johnson in November. It's going to take a while longer before there's an oasis in the downtown Vancouver food desert. The city had hoped the long-empty Block 10 near Esther Short Park would become a new grocery store downtown, but Graymore Development has had trouble getting a brick-and-mortar grocer to commit to building there, largely over concerns that downtown Vancouver still lacks the residential units necessary to support a full-size grocery store. The City Council appears set to vote next week to end negotiations with Graymore and enter a deal for Holland Partners, a property management company, to relocate their headquarters to a new 11-story office building on the site. Construction could begin as soon as this year. Well, does this beautiful weather have you itching for a road trip? At Clark County Today, we have you covered. Keep your eyes open for our upcoming day trip series on some of the most iconic adventures in the Pacific Northwest. Take a virtual tour of northern Clark County's rivers, parks, and wildlife areas. Then head to the Oregon and Washington coast to experience hidden treasures just like the explorers. So be sure to keep an eye out for our videos of area day trips as you've never seen them before. All right, let's move on to your Week in Review Sports Report from Paul Valencia.
A big week as the postseason begins in spring sports. There was district golf, there was district soccer, there's by-district baseball, by-district soccer as teams try to qualify for state. Emma Cox of Camas won the 4A district golf title. Camas rolled to the team title. Liz Dolan of Kelso won the 3A golf championship. Kiana Coburn of Fort Vancouver finished second. Mountain View won the team title at Tri-Mountain Golf Course. In baseball, Columbia River and Ridgefield have qualified for state. Camas baseball qualified for state as well. Last week, Mountain View baseball qualified for state. Columbia River soccer, Woodland soccer, they're going to state as well after a big week. In fact, too many stories to tell in this quick recap. Keep checking ClarkCountyToday.com for updates in the coming weeks as spring sports come to a conclusion. Later in the week, we shared the inspirational story of a Skyview senior soccer player. Diego Villalpando, he was cut from the program 2 times, but he never gave up on his dream to play for the Storm. As a senior, he not only made the team, he was instrumental in Skyview's league title. Turning away from sports for a minute, those who know me know I'm always looking so fine, wearing my silver and black everywhere I go. Well, because of those stellar looks, I got to write about a fashion show. Mountain View High School students are designing and modeling at a fundraiser Saturday night. Fashion Under the Stars will take place at Cascade Middle School. I had fun talking to some of the student designers to tell their passion for fashion. We also were able to attend a rehearsal to get a look at the students learning how to walk like a model with confidence. Oh, and with a little attitude too. Have fun Saturday night.
Thanks so much, Paul. Great story. And as Paul said, be sure to check ClarkCountyToday.com frequently for updates throughout the weekend. And that's it for this week's edition of The Week in Review. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to see when stories are posted and be part of the lively local conversation. You can tell us your own story ideas there as well, or email news@ClarkCountyToday.com. For all of us at Clark County Today, I'm Chris Brown. Remember, there is a burn ban, believe it or not, going on this weekend with all this dry, hot weather, so stay safe out there. And happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week.